and welcome to another episode of the Silver Screen Show. I'm Alenia and I am joined once again with Abu. How are you?
I'm enjoying the 3 minutes. So, I'll stay as quiet as I can for a while until it disappears.
Alright, well, while you finish off your mint, I am going to talk about the film Happy Death Day to You. This is directed by Christopher Langdon, starring Jessica Roth, Israel Broussard, Ruby Modin, Phi Vu, among many others. And this is the sequel to Happy Death Day that came out, what was it, last year?
I think it's the year before.
Year before?
Very well received. I love it. Nice spin on the new slasher genre.
Yeah, so sort of slasher, comedy, bit of Groundhog Day. Yeah. And now we've got the follow-up to this, which is kind of mixing up the genre a bit and doing a bit of a transition.
Kind of explaining what happened in the first movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's moving a lot more into the sci-fi genre, which I found really interesting.
Yeah, I think what I did like is they didn't fall into the trap of just rehashing the first movie, frame for frame, like Hangover did, and it just kind of was like, it's the same stuff.
I was scared of that because the trailer kind of led you towards that and was like, oh, it's going to be the same thing, but it's going to be somebody else.
Yeah, this is very much a sci-fi science kind of vibe.
It's a bit of everything. Yeah. It's a bit of sci-fi, it's a bit of the slasher and comedy, it's a bit of drama, a bit of romance.
Yeah, I mean, it mixes it up really well. It makes it a bit more fresh rather than just doing the same thing. I mean, she does go back into a loop, but the science is a lot more at the forefront of it all. And it kind of explains how the first movie happened. I mean, we didn't really need to know why the first movie happened. Yeah. But I mean, if you're going to give a reason, at least it's a good reason. It wasn't just something that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't really know how to give an overview of it without giving away sort of the main plot points.
Essentially, I suppose, she finds out what happened. It's because basically there's an experiment happening on campus.
It's gone awry.
Yeah, it's gone awry. And she's basically just suffers the consequences of this lab project gone wrong. So that's pretty much the thing.
And it starts bringing in the multiverse theory.
I've got to look through Spider-Man.
And different timelines, different dimensions, and so it's
a bit. What's the word I'm looking for? Exposition heavy, kind of like there's a lot of dialogue and description. Like it's just a horror slasher. Just get on with it. You don't have to be bulletproof on the science. It's not.
Her face is kind of representative of everybody else in the audience. Going.
It's not interstellar. We don't need bulletproof science to fix it. You can kind of gloss over it.
There's a machine. It went boom.
Yeah, and now you're screwed. But another positive, Tree is amazing. She's so charismatic.
She is fantastic.
I'm surprised you don't see her in more things, to be honest. I mean, her IMDb is pretty plain, but she pretty much carries this movie on her own. I mean, every scene she's in.
Yeah, because everybody else has the exact same dialogue, the exact same delivery. She's the one who has to change throughout the entire thing, and then you've got the character development she has in the first one, and then they've got to bring in even more changes for her in this one as well.
There's a lot of drama in it as well, like her scenes with her family. That is a massive like it comes out of nowhere. You don't really expect such an emotional scene in a film based around this. Yeah. But no, she nails those scenes as well. That was really touching. That was really beautiful. And even I was like, what if I was in that situation? What would you do? Like, it's a massive choice, isn't it?
It's the absolute shock.
I was not expecting this level of thinking and consideration in this film.
I know, it's like I just went to the cinema on a Thursday. I didn't want to think this much or feel this much.
Philosophical existence of multiple timelines and stuff. Before we go on to back, what else I had for good thing? I think the sci-fi element was really great. He explained it all. The characters are fine, but I think Tree's obviously by far the standout.
She's out there by
and the drama, actually, all mixed up very well. Yeah. So if you move on to the negatives.
I've got just a couple of things. I found the suicide montage hilarious.
It's similar to the first one, had the same whole killing yourself over and over again, which is a nice throwback.
Yeah, because in the first one it was like she was just being killed over and over again. This one she was just offing herself every time.
In the most creative ways possible.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm going to skydive in a bikini.
Because reasons.
Just because.
I don't know, she was actually jealous, wasn't she?
So she's going to splatter in front of this couple. And no, I found that really funny, and it's not. It doesn't do it in a kind of grossly inappropriate way.
It's a fine balance.
It's a fine balance. It has that. It's like the whole film is kind of self-referential, but not in a kind of in your face. It's gratifying way. It's more of a kind of this is where we're going with the franchise kind of thing. And I, like you said, I was so glad it just wasn't a rehash of the first.
Yeah, definitely. I thought this because the trailer was very vague. I'm like, are they going to rehash it or not?
Yeah.
Does it really even need a sequel? But
yeah, but with that, actually, moving into the negative thing, I was watching another review, and he was talking about how like the marketing for it is really off. Markets it really heavily as a horror.
Yeah,
like that it's scary.
It really isn't.
Kind of stuff. It really isn't. But a woman full on screamed. Like
there's always one hype person
there was,
in the crowd, isn't there? Like,
I don't know if she was drunk or high. This person.
Probably both. It was like scary.
Something jumped out. Someone jumped out. And she literally in the middle of this, and everyone in the cinema started laughing.
Yeah, she ruined the whole vibe of the film.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I mean, to be honest, the big negative mine was the horror is such a it's in the back seat essentially. You kind of forget about it until the very end. Like, oh, by the way, we got to resolve this whole murderer thing, which you kind of. So I really wasn't too keen on that. I kind of wanted a bit more knifey action because that was the whole.
Well, I know because it's not slashers aren't really scary. They're
but at least the horror element.
Even there wasn't any tension yet.
The only horror there was someone comes out behind a curtain or something, or that's about as scary as it gets.
But I think that's just part of the transition if it's going to go into sort of sci-fi. And then there's a post-credit scene.
Oh yeah, I read about it. I couldn't be bothered to hang around for it.
I didn't know it was there until I read about it.
On Reddit, yes, on what?
Like,
but yeah, they have this ambition to really.
Yeah, so I think it's going to proper move from horror slasher into sci-fi. So I'm fine with it taking a back seat. And it was like, it was there. And it was like, it hadn't been forgotten about.
I feel like I kind of went in expecting a horror, is what I really wanted in a sense.
So that's down to the market.
And the film's still good, but it's fact, I was expecting a bit more action in that.
Yeah.
Because it's marketed pretty much as a horror film. But yeah, oh well. Also, I got the love angle between the two. It just seemed very, very forced. It's like
considering
they've only known each other for like
24 hours.
Yeah, technically 24 hours. Maybe she's known the guy for a while, because she's lived the same day. But even then, the relationship's only been a day. And she's willing to like ruin timelines for this guy. And I'm thinking, does he even care about you that much? Even he's like, are we even a couple? It's just like,
like me and my girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
so
I met you like the night before last.
Exactly, yeah, and I was pretty hungover as well. So barely remember that. So I feel like because it's such a big part of the film, like this guy, thinking like,
I think it is a little bit forced, but you've got to understand that she's died enough times to live out sort of like 2-3 weeks.
But I think the fact is they could have done, if they showed he cared a bit more about her, even in that like when in the canteen, he's pretty much like, are we even a thing? Yeah, are we like, if he actually shows some level of affection, okay, I can't believe it.
Yeah, I think the affection is the fact that he didn't kick her out of his room as soon as she was like, I'm dying and I'm stuck in an endless loop, and he'd be like, get the hell out.
I think they could have done a bit more with him just to show, if there is something there.
Yeah, he's just kind of smitten. He's like, there's a hot gun.
Exactly, yeah. Like, it's more of a one-sided.
Level, his level. It's like,
it's back to the Alita thing. It's just like, it's very one-sided. It's more of her falling over him.
I mean, at least she could have actually
ripped
out of her.
She could have, and died.
And then just reset the timeline. My main thing was like, the life lessons everyone was giving Shreya talking to, her family, him. It's like, we get it. She's trying to be a better person.
Yeah.
We should all be better people. We're sorry. It got a little bit preachy for me.
I think some of the jokes in Land Diver, I can't recall them. I watched it a week or so ago, but there are a few moments where the camera kind of lingers afterwards. He says a one-liner, and no one really responded in cinema. I think the principal did a few lines as well, and just kind of felt a bit flat.
The scene with the principal and Danielle, I thought that was ridiculous.
The blind girl, considering she's in your school. Just because she's like the most popular girl in this campus, and you can't
actually distinguish
because she's wearing glasses. I think some of the humor was a bit off point. I mean, and finally, I think the final just really drags on. Just end the film. Like it just kind of felt like, is it gonna end? No. Is it gonna? No. It's gonna kind of have that pacing to it at the end. I thought you just get to the finale, hype it, kill it. But the Kenberg kind of refreshing it, and it's just finish.
Like resetting the timeline.
Exactly. But at the end, it's like you think it's gonna end there, but then something else happens, and you think, okay, then something else happens. I just kind of felt like
actually,
didn't have a definitive end point.
It was a little bit anticlimactic for me, I think. because it did sort of drag it out.
It kept on like moving the goalposts every so often.
Yeah.
So
it's like, oh no, we're going to go over here. No, we're going to go over here.
Right.
But I generally found it pretty funny.
Yeah, I think it's more positive than negative.
It definitely more positive than negatives. But it does make me want to watch Russian Doll on Netflix because it's the same thing.
Is it darker? Netflix always something darker.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit darker. It's not set on campus, so it's not this like raunchy campus comedy type thing. Yeah, I think it's like a little bit more adult, and then it's on her birthday as well. She keeps dying and resetting the day, and then I think she runs into someone going through the exact same thing, and they're like dropping in a lift, and she's like, "Aren't you scared?" He's like, "Nah, I've died already." And then she's like, "What?" Smash.
You get used to it after the first time.
So yeah, I think that.
Right. So just to wrap it up, I think we're both fairly happy to agree.
We're agreed on
slap bang in the middle.
Definitely.
It's good. I mean, the horror element was like a bit, which let's kind of bring it back a bit. But overall, it's a nice mix up. It freshens up the genre, this franchise in itself.
It's doing a really odd thing, transitioning between
horror, sci-fi,
and stuff, which I like.
It's
I find
trying,
it interesting.
exactly.
It's going for it, and I think at the moment it's working, and it's definitely trying to make a franchise for itself.
Not sure we can go on the third one, but we shall see what happens. I mean, we'll make it.
But we're giving it a solid 3.
Yeah, solid 3.
Solid 3. Take it lightly. Don't go in expecting too much.
Yeah, and don't try and find holes in science, cause
no, just don't bother.
we don't need Neil deGrasse Tyson ripping into this like he did with Interstellar. So awesome. So that wraps up that. Thanks.
Thanks.
Moving on. Sci-Fi.